Good morning, everybody. Good morning. It's JPR, and today's video is gonna be a little bit different from normal. Although, I feel like I say that every other video now, so even I don't know what to consider normal on this channel anymore. But nonetheless, today's video is a little more in-depth and serious than our usual videos, so just stick with me for a little bit. And I ask that you please watch the entire video before leaving a comment. Very recently, two of my good friends on YouTube, Dane95 and Tyrone the God 3, both decided to call it quits on reviewing the Pokemon Sun and Moon anime. Both of them had their own personal reasons for it. They'd mostly just wanted to make time for other content on their channels, and I fully support their decisions. I know, like many others, that Sun and Moon is not the easiest show in the world to review. But of course, in both instances, the Sun and Moon hate bandwagon got fired up yet again. Which made me wonder, why do people dislike this series so much? Even some of my other friends on YouTube who review the Sun and Moon series get harassed by numerous commenters just for reviewing something that they personally enjoy. Although this behavior is unacceptable, it does bring up the big question: is the Pokemon Sun and Moon anime good enough? So in this video, we'll be taking a good look at some of the things that most people dislike about the Sun and Moon anime. Please note that I am not bashing any individuals or particular series in this video. I'm a Pokemon fan too, and I honestly like every series the anime has ever offered. Yes, even Best Wishes. But anyway, let's get started with Sun and Moon's first slip-up. Of course, when the Sun and Moon series was first revealed during late X, Y, and Z, people were instantly divided. Divided on the new comedic tone, the new art style, the new characters, and anything else that you could possibly think of. Do I blame them? No. Change is naturally hard to get used to, and Sun and Moon brought more change than any other series before it. Which also meant it was much different from the XY series that most people, including myself, adored and loved. And yes, I believe some of the backlash does fall on the shoulders of the first trailer. First of all, it was a terribly timed trailer, being released in the middle of the Team Flare arc of all places. They were setting people up for a comedy show in the middle of the most serious arc of Pokemon yet. No wonder people didn't stick to the idea at first. And of course, there was also the new art style. I'm not gonna lie, even though I actually like the new art style from Sun and Moon, they did not choose the best looking scenes for this first trailer. And no, I'm not talking about in-between frames like this that people were using to justify bad animation. Speaking of which, let's have a side rant about that. This is not animation. This is a still in-between frame that connects one keyframe to the next. It's not supposed to look good because it's not something you're supposed to pause on and focus on. On that note, Ash's new face is also not bad animation. It's part of the new art style. If you haven't seen the Kanipa Effects video on this topic, I highly recommend that you watch that and educate yourself on the new animation techniques, because it's actually much more advanced than any previous Pokemon series. Anyway, if you say, I don't like Sun and Moon's new art style, that's a totally respectable and sensible opinion. But if you say Sun and Moon has bad animation, then you're actually just wrong and you're making yourself look dumb on the internet. Again, probably. I'll admit I wasn't incredibly enthusiastic about the new style when I first saw it, but unlike many people, I at least gave it a chance. And it's grown on me since then. Unfortunately, too many people went into the series with the mentality of, this will never look as good as XY, or this show will never surpass XY. And with a mentality like that, you're basically preventing yourself from enjoying it before it's even started. Another giant complaint I always hear is that Sun and Moon is nothing but filler. Once again, completely false. Sure, Sun and Moon may not be organized into proper story arcs like previous seasons, heck, even Best Wishes had them, but that does not mean the series is all filler. If you want real filler, go watch Johto Journeys again. As a matter of fact, the Sun and Moon anime has 7 filler episodes so far. 7 out of 36 to be exact, which means that less than 20% of the Sun and Moon anime is filler. In case you're wondering, that's the lowest percentage of filler since the Indigo League series. But JPR, he's in school! School is always filler! Oh, I'm sorry, did you mean the school that he's almost never in? People do realize that episode 2 was the last time he was actually in school for an entire episode, right? He also fights a legendary Pokemon and uses a Z move in the exact same episode, so yeah. Another side rant, why do people automatically assume that filler equals bad? Some of the best and most memorable Pokemon episodes ever have been filler, like Island of the Giant Pokemon, The Ancient Puzzle of Pokemopolis, The Cave of Mirrors, and many more. I mean, a lot of people's favorite episodes are filler episodes, so why do we always assume that fillers will suck? Doesn't make any sense. Not to mention that Sun and Moon has an incredibly entertaining filler for the most part, like Ash's mom coming to visit and the baseball episode. If you dislike the baseball episode, then you actually have no soul. The main problem with Sun and Moon doesn't actually lie in the series itself. I think it mostly lies in how people are constantly comparing it to the XY series. A long time ago, I made a Pokemon vs. Yokai Watch video where I basically said that you shouldn't compare the two because they're completely different genres even if they appear similar on the surface. The same goes for XY vs. Sun and Moon. Here we are almost a full year later and people still aren't letting go of XY. Once again, I don't blame them. I mean, XY is my favorite Pokemon series by far, but I don't think we should be using it as a measuring stick for Sun and Moon. Sun and Moon is its own series with its own identity. We can't just discount it because the art style is different, or Serena isn't there anymore, or whatever else you can think of. And I get it, comedy isn't everyone's cup of tea. Some folks like the serious tone, while others enjoy a good laugh every week. Regardless of what your taste is, just please don't be one of those people who harasses your favorite content creators or tweets insults at the show's head animators. If you dislike the show, that's totally okay. Just make sure you give it a fair chance first, like my friends Dane and Tyrone did. And if it still isn't to your liking, then stop watching. Nobody's forcing you to watch something that you don't like. You don't have to comment, "Man, I hate this series," on every review someone uploads, or be insensitive to others who genuinely enjoy it. Once again, I'm not saying you have to like Sun and Moon. You can hate it as much as you want, just don't be a jerk about it. But if you're a total outsider who just came to this video for a clear-cut answer, then I'll give it to you. Yes, I do think the Sun and Moon anime is good enough. Between its likable cast, excellent animation, funny gags, and phenomenal music like always, it's at least worth checking out. Above all, I love how the series bounces back and forth between arcs of comedy and arcs of darker themes. That especially shows how flexible and talented these writers are. In regards to my actual reviews for the Sun and Moon series, I'll be holding off until the end of the Akala Island arc to give a complete wrap-up on all my thoughts. If you'd like to see that and more, then make sure to subscribe. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time!